when I was sitting with a final theme, what came to me was one line in the Lord's Prayer: Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. One of the really amazing contributions that can sometimes be lost in the from the Christian movement and in the Christian movement is this whole theme of incarnation. It's interesting because in in some Christian traditions, that incarnation that is seen to be the fullness of God in the person of Jesus is interpreted as a set apart action. And then there are other Christian movements that look at it differently, and I'm a little bit more of that school, that see this incarnation principle as an inclusive, immanent experience. That if this one human being was the embodiment of God, then by virtue of our being alive, there is a participation in that embodiment, and that we come to our own fullness when we are God in form. And this is an amazing contribution of Christianity because it bridges all the realms. It dissolves any sense of separation and allows everything to be immediate, which I think is really remarkable. Now, I want to read for you Neil Douglas Klotz's translation of this one line. And I was practicing the Aramaic, so it will be somewhat faithful to its translation. Nechwe Sabianach Aikana Deboash Maya Af Ba'arha. So I'm going to say that again. Nechwe Tabianach Aikana Deboash Maya Af Ba'arha. So very, very long line compared to some of the other lines. I want to read for you his translation because it's going to be an important orientation for our meditation today. Now, if that's true, that really heaven and earth are meant to be one, and that oneness happens through a union of will, that the divine will is permeating all things, then that is something that we could focus our attention on, being the divine will in our lives, letting all of our actions, all of our choices be according to the divine will. Isn't that interesting and inviting, I would say? So here's his translation. Your one desire then acts with ours, as in all light, so in all forms. Let all wills move together in your vortex as stars and planets swirl through the sky. Help us love beyond our ideals and sprout acts of compassion for all creatures. As we find your love in ours, let heaven and nature form a new creation. Unite the crowd within in a vision of passionate purpose. Light mates with form. Create in me a divine cooperation from many selves, one voice, one action. Let your heart's fervent desire unite heaven and earth through our harmony. Your one desire then acts with ours, as in all light, so in all forms. So that's pretty remarkable. If we look at thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. So there's an acknowledgement that this is all happening in other realms. We don't know what those realms are for sure, or or at least I don't know what they are for sure, but that there is a harmony of wills happening in other realms. And in ours, that's part of the call of being alive, is the growing into the union that shows up as one will. Unite the crowd within a vision, in a vision of passionate purpose. That's one will. Think of if the world were united within in a vision of passionate purpose, light mates with form. That's something that we can aspire to and hope for in our world. Let all wills move together in your vortex as stars and planets swirl through the sky. It's like a harmony and a dance. Help us love beyond our ideals and sprout acts of compassion for all creatures. It acknowledges that oftentimes we get ideas of things, we hold concepts of things, that our love can be held in check by them. But what we want is that our love go beyond these ideals and just sprout in acts of compassion, not just for one creature or for occasional moments, but for all creatures. Create in me a divine cooperation from many selves, one voice, one action. Within ourselves, we have many motivations going on at any given time. Many motivations. Let your heart's fervent desire unite heaven and earth through our harmony. Let your heart's fervent desire unite heaven and earth through our harmony. Isn't that mysterious? Because in one way, it's pointing to the divine. Let your heart's fervent desire unite all the realms. In what way? Through our harmony. It's leaning into a knowing that we only accomplish this by really surrendering. Your one desire then acts with ours. As in all light, so in all forms. So heaven can be seen as all light, all the subtle energy, all the realms that are not so solid in form as earth has. And here's the comparison. As in all light, so in all forms. Very powerful. Very powerful. So our meditation today is going to be, I think that I have done this with the group once, but it's a very powerful meditation. And in the Tantric tradition, it's called the uniting of heaven and earth. But we're simply going to open our energy along the spinal column as a way of uniting energies within ourselves, meeting in the heart and the heart chakra. All right. So for that, I invite you to close your eyes. Bring your focus to the base of your spine. Let the breath be there at the base. And now sense or imagine or intend that the base chakra A vortex of energy spinning downwards opens, and let this vortex open wide, spinning in a clockwise direction with vibrant and subtle light. And let this light extend downward, downward through the floor into the earth, moving through the layers of soil, rock, water, moving downward, downward. As it moves deeper, there are layers of molten lava and lava, more water, perhaps crystals, moving downward. And let this light extend very deep until you come to a center. Could be the center of the earth or a galaxy or a universe, but it's a center point moving downward through the earth. And let this light, as it has moved downward, extend outward as well, like roots of a tree. And now allow this system of light and roots to pick up and receive the energy of creation that is source in form. And let it move through the roots and up the column that has extended so deeply from the root chakra. This light, this magnified light, move up the column, up through all the layers of creation. And then it reaches the root chakra and comes into your own physical body. And this light energy moves through the body, through the chakras, up into the heart. And now bring the focus to the crown chakra, the top of the head, and open the crown with your intention and focus. And let this whirling vortex of light open wide and begin to move upward through the transpersonal point, up into the universe, up, through the Earth's atmosphere, out into the galaxy. Upward. And moving into infinity and opening as well, like a root system that are receptors to the divine light. And just like the moment of receiving creation's energy, we open to receiving the uncreated energy. That light moves through the root system and the open column of the chakra, raining down upon you with abundance, sweetness, insight. And the energy magnifies your channels. And as it moves downward, this rushing of white energy is strong and soft at the same time. It moves to the crown chakra and into the head, the mind, flooding the mind with new forms of thought, releasing old patterns. And this light moves through the body down to the heart and mingles with the energy of creation, uniting heaven and earth in your own being. And as we begin to end this meditation, I'm going to slowly read this line from the Our Father. Nechwe Shavakanach Aikana Dubuash Maya Af Ba'ara. Your one desire then acts with ours. As in all light, so in all forms. Let all wills move together in your vortex as stars and planets swirl through the sky. Help us love beyond our ideals and sprout acts of compassion for all creatures. As we find your love in ours, let heaven and nature form a new creation. Unite the crowd within in a vision of passionate purpose. Light mates with form. Create in me a divine cooperation. From many selves, one voice, one action. Let your heart's fervent desire unite heaven and earth through our harmony. Your one desire then acts with ours, as in all light, so in all forms. And in that, we bring our Advent meditation series, The Power of Dark and Light, to completion. I invite you to bring your palms together in front of your heart and open your eyes with Aho. And so it is. Aho.